All right, let's give this a try. Wow. Thank you for stopping by Ballistic BBQ, and today we are going to be making an absolutely amazing prime rib roast on the Lone Star Grillz vertical offset. And if you're an indoor cook that stumbled across this video, here's a little secret. You can do this inside in the oven. You'll sacrifice, that smoky flavor, but we're following temperatures. That's what outdoor cooking is doing. So we're gonna kick this off with a really good spice rub. Some kosher salt, coarsely ground, some black ground pepper, dehydrated onion, and I love using this dehydrated onion. It actually rehydrates during the cooking process. Dehydrated minced onion, same thing, rehydrates. Right here I have paprika, mustard seed, thyme, and celery seed. Lid on, shake it up. There we go, really beautiful seasoning blend. Goes great with beef, and that includes your briskets, your steaks, whatever. Let's go ahead and season this prime rib. So today we're going to be cooking up 9.38 pounds of USDA prime standing rib roast, and this is just beautiful. I mean, check out the marbling on this thing. 3 bones. If you're planning a dinner and you kind of have questions of how much to buy, the kind of industry standard is 1 bone for every 2 guests, and that'll give you about an inch thick cut. Obviously, if you want to be more generous with your guests, then add a bone or 2, and also add another guest, me. We're going to go ahead and start with the seasoning, and we're going to hit this with some Worcestershire sauce, or for my folks in the UK, Worcester sauce, right? Worcester sauce. And I'm going to hit this. This is going to add that just really nice kind of umami flavors. Goes great with beef, and it'll help the seasoning adhere. We're going to be generous. And there we are. Pit is actually up to temp. I'm going to let this kind of sweat through the seasoning a little bit, and then I'll get you guys over to the Lone Star. As I mentioned today, we're using Lone Star Grillz offset vertical. Love this pit. I'm running it at 225 degrees Fahrenheit. We're keeping it low. My plan is to cook this rib roast until it hits 115. I'm going to pull it off, tint it with foil, let it rest, and I'm going to crank this bad boy up. I'll throw a couple more splits on here, throw open the dampers, and I'm going to get the temperature up. I want it to be running in the 375 to 400 degree range Fahrenheit at the end of this cook, again, just to finish this thing off, give it a nice crust, and bring the temperature up to a nice medium rare. Let's go ahead and get this thing on. And there we go, easy stuff. I will be putting a temperature probe in here so I can monitor the cook. Other than that, I'm just gonna chill out, relax. See you guys in a bit. 3 hours, 45 minutes in, we've hit that 115 mark. Pit's been running very stable. It's been staying between that 225 and 235, but very gradually just going between those 2 numbers. So very pleased with that. I've got a really bright sun up there behind me that's on the pit, so hopefully we can get a decent shot of what the roast looks like. Looks really good. You can see we just have a gorgeous color here, nice mahogany color. I'll take that any time of the day. What I'm going to do now is pull it from the pit, take it in the kitchen, wrap it loosely in foil, let it rest. In the meantime, I'm going to get this bad boy behind me cranked up, and we're going to finish it off, just kind of develop that crust a little bit more, some higher temperatures. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes or so. Lone Star is up to 400 degrees. We're going to finish this roast off. Go ahead and get a thermometer in this. I'm just gonna let this thing roll, and basically once it hits 125 degrees, I'm gonna pull it, we're gonna let it rest, we're gonna slice it, we're gonna eat it. Roast was in the pit an additional about 10 minutes, again at 400, just hit that 125 mark. Smells just incredible. Look at that. So I'm going to take it in the house again. I'm just going to tin it with foil. Carryover is going to do some work and bring it up probably another 10 degrees or so. We're going to have a nice medium rare. See you at the cutting board. So the roast is rested and it's beautiful. And the one thing I wish there was smell-o-vision, because the wood smell coming off of this is just amazing. So I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video. This roast is trussed. I mean, I'm sure you guys noticed that. But I had the butcher basically separate the rack of ribs from the roast up until the very back, basically, and then just retruss it on. It just saves a lot of time, just a lot of effort. I'm lazy. But as far as the carving, it just makes it a lot easier towards the end here, at the end. I'm going to cut the trusses off. Got a nice crust. And you're always going to have a little bit of a separation where the fat starts to shrink, and you'll lose a little crust somewhere on the roast as they cook. All right, let the fun begin. So the first thing I'm going to do is just remove the ribs. Again, most of the work's been done for me. Thank you, Mr. Butcher Man. There we go. I mean, that's a nice little meal in itself. My son is just a beef rib fanatic. Let's see what we have here. Nice. Even in the earlier slice, we've got a nice looking medium rare. So that's good. I'd say that was a successful cook. It smells unbelievable. All right, let's give this a try. Wow. I mean, look at that, so juicy, so juicy. Try some of this cap with a little bit of fat and a little bit of crust. Right now I'm feeling very thankful. Thankful I get to do things like this for you guys. Thankful I get to cook on cookers like that and eat meat like this. I mean, again, thank you guys. This is like a dream come true. Thanks again for stopping by. I really appreciate you guys. If you're not subscribed, if you could hit the sub button, I'd be very grateful. If you like the video, thumb it up. See you in the next video. Cheers.